Hello everybody and welcome back to Drumard Farm. So this is obviously a very good map and many people have been requesting different jobs for me to do in this episode. So what we've done is we have devised the voting system to actually choose the best job to do. And the winning vote for this episode is to actually plough the three fields together. Let me just open up the minimap. Field 4, 5 and 6 do need to be ploughed together. But of course to do this we need a plough. And we do actually have one already. It's a green plough. Where are ploughs? Here they are. It is the Amazon plough, just here, which is all well and good. It's just, I wanted to use a different tractor. Now, regrettably, we have got rid of a tractor, which I am disappointed about, but many people wanted me to get rid of it, so we did do. Mainly because, not because it's a bad tractor, this one here, the Fendt GT255, or 255. It's not because it's a bad tractor, I like it a lot. But many people were just really arguing the point that it wouldn't really be seen in Ireland, especially in this part of Ireland. So, to be honest, with me trying to stick with the realism side of stuff, I had to agree that you probably wouldn't see it there. But I do want to bring it back again in a future map because it's a nice tractor in its own way. I really do want to have it. Anyway, we have replaced it, not with a plough. This is another plough we've bought, fairly cheap, a Kuhn plough. I think it was £15,000, and we're actually going to use our, well, I call it a new tractor. It's actually older than the other one, I think. We're going to use this tractor just here. Yes, it is small. It is a Massey Ferguson, and as far as I'm aware, it was made for FS15 and then converted over. Not 100% sure on that, but either way, it is a very good tractor, and obviously, the author of this has done a very good job, and it definitely needs to be credited. So, as you can see, it's a Massey Ferguson 265. It's a pretty small tractor. To be honest, that plough is over the limit for it, but it can power it. Well, not power it, but it can actually use it okay. So we're going to today. So let's get started up. Just to show you, you can see the radiator fan in there, spinning nicely. It's all animated, very well made. So it's hopefully going to be a nice tractor to have. And I was getting so many requests to use a Massey Ferguson in these videos. So we'll just get it hitched on. There was one thing which did concern me. I think it's a category 2 3-point linkage this. So it probably wouldn't be directly compatible with this plough. But in Farming Simulator, it is. So that's all good. Anyway, yes, you can see, it does look a little bit crazy. It's a bit heavy on the back there, but I have actually taken it to the field and it did work pretty well. So, if we have anything smaller, it would be a very slow operation. And because it can power it okay, and this feels like a fairly beastie tractor, I can't really see the need in changing it. So let's head over to the fields. We're going to do the three of them, join them together. There is a crop in them. There are crops in those fields, but it doesn't matter. All we're going to do basically is plough it so that when we come to cultivate and reseed those fields, we'll be able to do it as one continuous thing instead of having lots of segments of grass between each one. And to be honest, I was amazed that this was the winning vote for the job. Because I know that we did have to do this, really, for it to work properly. It was a bit strange the way I was doing the seeding. But it means that many people did have very strong feelings about the way I did it. That's why most of you want me to do this job today. But it is definitely for the best. It does need to be done. Such a nice tractor. Massey Fergusons, I won't go on about it too much, but Massey Fergusons are good. So good, in fact, that I got excited and missed the gateway. I suppose a tractor like this would usually have something like a 2-furrow, so half the size of this, for it to work properly. In fact, the scaling doesn't look completely right. Maybe the plough is too big. But the main point is, it is going to work. Usually when I say that, it doesn't work, but I have tested it this time, just to make sure. Just love how well made it is, though. Really highly detailed. Even a CB radio here. So this is the first section. Now I may well cut into the fields by accident, but obviously it's not going to be a great deal of damage when you compare it to the amount of land we've got here. Now we do have to allow create fields, so that's what we're going to do, and I suppose I should start from the other side. It may work a bit better. I missed a bit there with the seed drill. Probably no bad thing though. So this isn't going to be perfect. As long as it's neatish, it will be fine. We'll go in cab view. Well, in operator view. It's not really cab. It seems to be working quite well. I'll try and keep it as straight as possible. I would love to own one of these one day. I'm actually looking to buy a larger tractor, not a full-scale tractor, I can never afford that. But yeah, basically for my restoration channel I am hoping to get a tractor maybe this size, no bigger. 2 reasons why it can be bigger. 1, I can't transport the thing, and 2, it would be too big to store. I haven't got anywhere to store it. And actually 3, I can't afford it. It's a big issue. It must be nice to have lots of money to be able to buy the stuff you want and do, but unfortunately that isn't the case. And it probably isn't the case for a lot of people in the world. Many people must have the same thoughts. But it's not about money. It's, well, the reason why I do my restorations is really for fun. And to be fair, if I don't sell many of them, but the ones I have sold in the past, I have either made a loss on, which is not very good at all, or maybe made about £20 on. I could spend 200 hours on a machine, fixing it up and everything, and then finish off with about £20 profit. Oh yes, buy high, sell low. That's my motto anyway. But no, really, the reason why I do the machinery restorer channel is for my satisfaction, and obviously I like making videos on there, and I think most of my audience likes it as well. The likes versus dislikes seems to suggest that anyway. But talking about money, actually, I don't like talking about money. It's alright in Farming Simulator, but not real life. I set up this, I think it's called Patreon. It's like, I think it's like a donation, it's like crowdfunding or something. And, well, somebody suggested it to me, and I thought, well, what's that then? And I looked it up, and I found out it was this site where you could basically, well, I wouldn't say beg for money, but sort of ask for money from your audience, and I thought, well, I don't like the idea of that. I know that many people are going to take a very negative look at that if I was to do it. So then I thought, hang on, why would I ask people for money for just playing Farming Simulator? That's just really weird. But then it came across my mind that maybe if I did it for Machinery Restorer, just like a very small donation site, maybe I could then get a bit of money together to buy a larger machine to then do a video series on, and then if I could ever afford, or if I could borrow some land for the day or something to sort of try it out on, that could make for a really good video series. So I set it up. I set up a Patreon account for Machinery Restorer, and in fact if you go on that channel and go to the channel art at the top, the banner, you'll see it there. But I don't really expect many people or anyone to donate because, well, people work hard for their money, and I don't think a lot of people would just give it away for the sake of it. But no, it's there for the fun of it anyway. But yeah, certainly not begging for money. Doesn't seem to be a very wise idea. Anyway, through my ramblings there, we have finished the first section, and as you've noticed, this tractor has performed effortlessly, done really well. So let's head up to the top there. Made a very nice jangle sound when I flicked the flappy paddle on the steering wheel. I don't think this tractor's going to be flappy paddle gearbox though. Just something about it. It's still nice in its own way. Just like many tractors. It makes a very nice sound too. Whoever did the sounds did a very good job. Right, so time for the next section. Hang on, have I missed one here? Is it just... oh yeah, it's just 2. Well, that does make it very easy. And as you can see, it's sort of... well, it's recognising it as being harvested, but actually it's just me destroying this line of crops here. But if I left a grass strip, it would look a bit strange. So I think this is for the best that we do, just get rid of some of it accidentally. When you think about it, it isn't going to be a massive amount of crop. When I did my rambling video on Drumard Farm the other day, well, probably 2 episodes back, amazingly, more people preferred it to my normal videos. you prefer it when I ramble about rubbish. Which I was really amazed about. When I was editing the videos a few days ago, I honestly thought, wait, you are talking way too much. Get rid of some of this content. So I did, I got rid of some of it because it was just me rambling on. But it turns out that I probably shouldn't have done. Let me know, do you want to hear me talking about rubbish and some of my life, or do you want me to just play Farming Simulator? It's up to you. I make these videos for my audience anyway. It's not for my own enjoyment as such. Although it is very nice to be able to just sit down, record a relaxing video, doing a bit of farming, instead of doing it quietly, without doing a video at all. I would always prefer to record a video and play Farming Simulator than just play it on my own. Somehow it just feels better. I don't know why. More realistic, I suppose. Because I can get other people's input. When I'm doing stuff wrong, without a doubt I get told about it. But also when I'm doing it right, I sometimes get congratulated. It's very nice to have such an intelligent audience. Although I must add, we do get the odd person who likes to cause an argument. But that's just the way of the world. Okay, so we've almost finished here. The grass has been ploughed in quite well. As you can see, it hasn't left any on the surface. I suppose that's another thing they could do in Farming Simulator. You could have like a quality to your ploughing. Like if you do a really bad job, you could have loads of, well, I suppose they call it trash on the surface, because you've got the trash boards which you can put on if there's a lot of high stubble. The possibilities as to what you could do with this game are virtually endless. I'm a bit cautious about going too far because it's going to make it look really scruffy. But this should be the final pass. So hopefully for those of you who did request this as today's job, you have enjoyed it. But of course there is more time, so we're going to have to move on to another job as well. But that is easily done. Almost going off to the left a bit too much there. And there we go. That is us finished. So all we have to do now is just take this back to the farm, and I suppose that is actually today's work done with the Massey Ferguson 265. It's been a nice machine to use, even though it was short-lived. Oh, there's a bit of a mess here. Not perfect. In fact, I might spend a bit of time off screen making sure it's a nice straight edge. But it doesn't have to be a work of art. And there is a bit here as well. In fact, there is a margin of grass which I'm still missing. There we go. It's working well. This end's okay. It's not the neatest job ever. How are we over here? Yeah, again, it's not too bad, but it does need to be tidied up just a tiny amount. There we go. Okay, so next time this is harvested and then cultivated and ploughed, and also, wait, what am I on about? Next time this is seeded and cultivated, we'll be able to join them together into one long field, and it could be good for maybe maize? Who knows? Good for anything. One thing I really do want to do is sunflowers. I have not done sunflowers enough. It would be very nice to do them again. Okay, so let's just head over to this farm over here. It's closest. Wow, I think we've got a bit of air on those front wheels there. It's like I've been going too fast. Okay, here we are, back at the yard, and oh, mind the chickens, the hens. That could be a good place to put it, but this might be a better barn. Yes, we already have a plough in here. The only reason we didn't use that plough is because I have a very wise suspicion that this tractor would have wheeled, although I would like to try it out. Oh, you know what that's done? I have not turned off the create field limiter. We have turned part of the yard into soil. Obviously we're not going anywhere with this, that would just be ridiculous. But just for fun, I'll attach it and see what it would have done had I decided to use this. Right. Are you ready? Oh, too zoomed out. Ready? Wow, it actually seems to be the same mass, which is surprising. Oh well, I'll leave it there. Right, so these animals, I think they're okay, because we did work on them very recently. Let's try and find... Yes, everything's very good, except for the power food, but we can deal with that later. So, as far as the animals are concerned, they're happy. We can just leave them. One thing I did want to check is the eggs. These hens are obviously very busy, usually laying an egg a day. I don't know if every hen is laying an egg a day, I doubt it, but there is still a good number here. So yeah, we must have quite a few in the backpack. Where do we see these statistics? Is it here? Yes. Eggs in backpack, 30. Eggs in coop, 0, so we definitely aren't missing any. So, what we could do is drive over to the sell point for the eggs, which is somewhere. We may have to go onto the other map view and zoom in. My guess is it's going to be here. But I may have to have a bit of a search first. I'm not sure. I reckon it's going to be down at the store where everything else is. Now there is one thing that we definitely have to do, and that is to get a pressure washer. The reason for this is because most of our tractors are now looking fairly mucky. If it was to rain, they would be washed a certain amount. It's not quite as quick as it used to be. But really we can't just keep waiting for the rain. We have to keep these things presentable. The reason why I tend to keep my tractors fairly clean, well, some of you will probably disagree with that statement, but why I try to keep them clean is because in these videos, if they look really scruffy, it doesn't always come across as very professional. So keeping them mainly clean with a bit of dirt is the best thing to do. That's okay. There's still a tiny bit of dirt on here. You can see there's a bit of tyre dirt, but that's obviously natural. Nothing we can really do about it. We still have the really heavy weight on the back. But as this is our front load tractor, there is not much point in changing it, swapping it over. We'll just keep the weight on there. Not a very good idea when it comes to tyre wear and stuff like that. But we might as well. Now we're stuck behind the traffic, but actually we can only do 10 miles per hour. That is a lot of weight to pull up the hill. Come on, come on. Slow cars. Ah, yes. What I might do as well for the future, because very soon we're about to change the Sandy Bay map. It's probably a week away. We're going to go with an American map, I have decided. It's not set in stone, but pretty much that is definite. It's going to be, hopefully, I haven't had confirmation, or I haven't even asked yet actually. Something on my shoe, who is a modder, a mapper, has created the American Outback mod, or map. And I think that's going to be very good for the big bud. So I'm hoping to get permission for doing that. Before I get too confused about where we are, I need to make sure that the egg sale point is actually here. And I'm not seeing it. I may have to go off screen just to confirm. The two sale points tend to back onto each other here. So we've got the wool in there, possibly something else as well. Got the majority of the grains coming here, if not all of them. But then, oh, I've got wood over here. Yeah, but then stuff like eggs, where would they go to? I suppose a good thing would be to look for the wool sale point, because it tends to be in a very similar place. Yes, this is the animal dealer just here. So if we had any cows or anything like that to sell, this is where they would go to. But I'm not seeing the egg place. Now, I've just been doing my research, and it turns out the egg sell point is actually in the village. So I'm going to head over there. It's just down here on the right hand side. It's one of these houses. I can't believe. In fact, there it is. There is the icon. It would look a bit more natural turning up in a pickup rather than a tractor, but there you go. That's it after all that. Here we go. So how much money are we getting? Oh, it's just done it. £171. Well, that's okay. I wouldn't really expect a great deal from eggs because at the end of the day they are just eggs and you can pick them up from the supermarket for not a great deal of money. So if the supermarket's selling them cheap, the farmers must be selling them much cheaper. So yeah, I suppose £171 there is fantastic. Unheard of. Did we have 30? It wasn't many. Anyway, that is going to almost conclude this episode because the ploughing took much quicker than I thought. I thought it would be quite a big job. I was sort of expecting 3 sections, but it turned out to be just 2. And yeah, the tractor which I was going to use, which we did use, the Massey Ferguson, obviously was capable of powering the much larger plough, which got the job done very effectively and very efficiently. So all has gone very well today. Now what we're going to do is just take this back to the yard. I think what I might do actually is take it to the farm. Well, there's 2 Drumard farms. There's 2 yards. The one to the left of here, basically, to the west of here. That's where we'll go to. And we'll keep this tractor there. It's always handy to have another tractor over here. Most of them are accumulating over at the other farm, so we do have to distribute them fairly evenly. And really, because this has got 2 types of animals over here, it would be better suited at this farm, even though we do still have the other front loader too. But I think at the moment that's actually at the other farm, so yeah, this is definitely the place for it. We've done the grass work. I don't think anything else has to be done there. There is still some baling to do, some straw baling over in field number 8, I think it is. Yes. So I think next time that is going to be what we do, but the chances are we'll have an auto stacker because we've done a lot of front load work recently, and also I'm sort of predicting there to be quite a lot of bales coming out of there. It's not a big field, but it was fairly productive, so an auto stacker could be very handy. Right, let's wait for this gate to open. I'll park it up over here. And that will do us for today. Oh, look at that. That's another job we need to do next time. There are now 2 full pallets of wool. This is because we have so many sheep. We have about 134 sheep, which is very impressive. That is a lot of money sat here. Wow. Stay tuned for the next episode when we do that and also do the bales. There could be quite a lot of money coming in. Until then though, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Bye for now.